Picture this. You're deep in the heart of Papua New Guinea, surrounded by lush jungle in the rhythmic beating of drums. The air is thick with anticipation as a young tribesman steps forward, his chest bare and gleaming with sweat. The village elder approaches, wielding a sharp piece of obsidian. With practiced precision, he begins to slice intricate patterns into the young man's skin. Blood trickles down, but the initiate doesn't flinch. This, my friends, is scarification in its purest form. But hold on to your hats, because we're just getting started. Scarification isn't just some primitive practice relegated to the annals of history. Oh no, it's alive and kicking in the modern world, baby. From the streets of London to the back alleys of Tokyo, people are embracing this ancient art form with a fervor that'll make your head spin. Now let's rewind the clock a bit, shall we? Scarification has been around for forever. We're talking thousands of years, folks. Ancient Egyptians were all about that scar life, using it to mark slaves and show social status. Fast forward to the 19th century, and you've got the Maori of New Zealand rocking their incredible facial tattoos called moko. But here's the kicker. These weren't just any old tattoos. No siree, these bad boys were carved into the skin, creating permanent, raised scars that told the story of a person's lineage and achievements. But wait, there's more. In parts of Africa, scarification has been a rite of passage for centuries. Take the Nuba people of Sudan, for example. These folks don't mess around when it comes to body modification. Young men and women undergo extensive scarification as part of their transition to adulthood. We're talking hundreds of tiny cuts arranged in intricate patterns across their bodies. And get this, they rub ash into the wounds to make the scars more pronounced. Talk about commitment. Now I know what you're thinking. That's all well and good for tribal societies, but surely this doesn't happen in the Western world? Oh, how wrong you are, my sweet summer child. Scarification has been gaining traction in body modification communities across the globe. It's not just about looking badass anymore, although, let's be real, it totally is. For many, it's a deeply personal and spiritual experience. Picture this. You're in a dimly lit studio in San Francisco. The walls are adorned with anatomical diagrams and photos of healed scars that look more like works of art than injuries. A woman lies on a table, her back exposed. The artist, gloved hands steady, begins to carve an intricate tree of life design into her skin. The process is slow, methodical, and yeah, pretty darn painful. But for this woman, the pain is part of the journey. It's a physical manifestation of her inner strength, a permanent reminder of a pivotal moment in her life. But hold up. Before you go running off to your nearest body mod studio, let's talk about the nitty-gritty details. Scarification ain't for the faint of heart, folks. We're talking about deliberately injuring the skin to create a lasting scar. There are a few different methods, and trust me, they're all intense. First up, we've got cutting. This is exactly what it sounds like, using a scalpel or other sharp instrument to make incisions in the skin. It's precise, but holy moly, is it bloody. Then there's branding, which involves using heated metal to burn designs into the skin. If you thought that sounded painful, wait till you hear about skin removal. That's right, entire sections of skin are cut away to create negative space in the design. I'm telling you, these folks are hardcore. Now here's where things get really wild. Some practitioners use a technique called strike branding, where they literally hit the skin with heated metal rods to create a design. It's like a twisted game of connect the dots, except instead of pencil marks, you're left with burn scars. And if that wasn't enough to make your skin crawl, there's also cold branding, which uses liquid nitrogen or dry ice to freeze the skin and create scars. Brr. But wait, there's more. Some brave souls opt for chemical scarification, where caustic substances are applied to the skin to create raised scars. And let's not forget about abrasion, where the top layers of skin are literally sanded away. I'm telling you, the human capacity for enduring pain in the name of art is truly mind-boggling. Now, I know what you're thinking. This is insane. Why would anyone put themselves through this? Well, buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to dive deep into the psychology of scarification. For many people, scarification is a way to reclaim their bodies. In a world where we're constantly bombarded with images of perfect bodies, scarification is a big ol' middle finger to societal norms. It's a way of saying, This is my body, and I'll decorate it however I damn well please. But it's not just about rebellion. For some, scarification is a deeply spiritual practice. It's a way to mark important life events, to create a physical manifestation of an emotional or spiritual journey. Think about it. When you go through something life-changing, don't you sometimes wish you had a tangible reminder of that experience? Well, that's exactly what scarification provides for many people. And let's not forget the endorphin rush, folks. The human body is a weird and wonderful thing, and when it experiences intense pain, it releases a flood of feel-good chemicals. Some scarification enthusiasts describe the process as almost euphoric. It's like running a marathon, except instead of a finish line, you get a badass scar. But hold on to your hats, because we're about to get controversial. In some cultures, scarification isn't just a personal choice. It's a societal expectation. Take the Beta Maribe people of Benin, for example. In their culture, scarification is an essential part of identity. Children as young as 5 undergo extensive scarification of their faces and bodies. The scars are a mark of beauty, of belonging. But here's the kicker. If you don't have these scars, you're considered an outsider, less than human. Now I can hear the outrage from here. But that's child abuse, I hear you cry. And yeah, from our Western perspective, it's hard to wrap our heads around. But here's where things get complicated. Who are we to impose our cultural values on others? It's a thorny issue, and one that anthropologists and human rights activists have been grappling with for decades. But let's bring it back to the here and now. In the Western world, scarification is very much a choice, and it's not one to be taken lightly. We're talking about permanent body modification here, folks. Once those scars are there, they're there for good. And let me tell you, the healing process is no walk in the park. Picture this. You've just had an intricate design carved into your back. The initial pain was intense but manageable. But now comes the real challenge. For weeks, maybe even months, you have to meticulously care for your wounds. We're talking daily cleaning, applying ointments, avoiding certain activities. And let's not forget the itching. Oh boy, the itching. It's enough to drive a person mad. But here's the thing. For many scarification enthusiasts, this healing process is an integral part of the experience. It's a time of reflection, of bonding with your new scars. Some people even intentionally irritate their wounds to create more pronounced scars. Talk about commitment to the art. Now I know what you're thinking. This all sounds incredibly dangerous. And yeah, you're not wrong. Scarification, when not done properly, can lead to some serious complications. We're talking infections, excessive scarring, and in extreme cases, even death. But here's the thing. When done by a trained professional in a sterile environment, the risks can be minimized. But let's be real here. Even in the best-case scenario, you're still deliberately injuring your body. And that's a concept that many people struggle to wrap their heads around. In fact, in many places, scarification exists in a legal gray area. It's often lumped in with other forms of body modification, like tattooing and piercing. But because it involves deliberately creating wounds, it's subject to much stricter regulations. In some countries, like the UK, scarification is straight up illegal. In others, it's tolerated but not explicitly legal. And in places where it is legal, practitioners often have to jump through hoops to operate above board. We're talking strict hygiene standards, informed consent forms, the whole 9 yards. But here's where things get really interesting. Despite the risks, despite the legal gray areas, despite the social stigma, people are still drawn to scarification. And I'm not just talking about a few fringe weirdos. We're seeing a resurgence of interest in traditional scarification practices among indigenous communities. It's a way of reclaiming cultural identity, of connecting with ancestral traditions. Take the case of Ama Asantewa Agei, a Ghanaian-American woman who underwent traditional scarification as an adult. She described the experience as transformative, a way of connecting with her African heritage. And she's not alone. More and more people are turning to scarification as a way of exploring their cultural roots. But it's not just about tradition. In the body modification community, scarification is pushing the boundaries of what's possible with the human body. We're seeing scars that look like delicate lace, three-dimensional designs that seem to pop off the skin. It's a far cry from the crude cuts of ancient practices. And get this, Some artists are even incorporating technology into their scarification designs. We're talking about subdermal implants that create raised patterns under the skin, or scarification combined with UV-reactive ink that glows under black light. It's like something out of a sci-fi movie, except it's happening right here, right now. But let's take a step back and look at the bigger picture. What does the popularity of scarification say about our society? Some argue that it's a response to the increasingly digital, disconnected world we live in. In an age where so much of our lives are virtual, scarification is a way of grounding ourselves in the physical, of creating a permanent, tangible mark on our bodies. Others see it as a form of rebellion against societal norms of beauty. In a world obsessed with smooth, flawless skin, scars are a defiant statement. They're saying, my body, my choice, and I choose to celebrate my scars. But here's where things get really wild. Some researchers are looking at scarification through the lens of psychology and neuroscience. They're exploring how the intense pain and subsequent healing process of scarification might affect the brain. Some theorize that it could have therapeutic benefits for certain mental health conditions. Now, I'm not saying you should run out and get scarred as a form of therapy, but it's fascinating to think about, isn't it? And let's not forget about the artistic aspect. Scarification artists are pushing the boundaries of what's possible with the human body as a canvas. We're seeing scars that look like intricate lace patterns, three-dimensional designs that seem to pop off the skin. It's a far cry from the crude cuts of ancient practices. Take, for example, the work of Jan Brignac, a French body modification artist known for his incredibly detailed scarification designs. His work looks more like fine art than body modification. We're talking about scars that form intricate mandalas, realistic portraits, even recreations of famous paintings. It's mind-blowing stuff, folks. But here's the thing. As amazing as these designs are, they're not for everyone. And that's okay. The beauty of body modification in the modern world is that it's a choice. Whether you choose to embrace your scars or cover them up, whether you see them as beautiful or prefer smooth skin, it's all valid. So where does this leave us? As we hurtle towards an increasingly digital future, will scarification continue to gain popularity? Or will it remain a niche practice, relegated to the fringes of society? Only time will tell, my friends. But one thing's for sure, scarification isn't going away anytime soon. As long as humans have bodies, there will be those who seek to modify them, to push the boundaries of what's possible. And whether you find it beautiful or horrifying, fascinating or repulsive, you can't deny that scarification is a powerful testament to the human spirit's capacity for endurance, creativity, and self-expression. So the next time you see someone with intricate scars, maybe think twice before judging. Who knows what story those scars might tell, what journey they might represent. In a world that often feels increasingly uniform, scarification stands as a bold declaration of individuality, a permanent reminder that our bodies are our own, to modify and celebrate as we see fit. And with that, my friends, we come to the end of our journey into the wild and wonderful world of scarification. I hope you found it as fascinating, terrifying, and thought-provoking as I have. Until next time, keep an open mind, and remember, beauty truly is in the eye of the beholder, even when that beauty comes in the form of scars.